Hey, I'm Steph.
And I'm Alex.
And we want to welcome you to our podcast,
The Film Bros.
A podcast where we discuss the movies we love without any judgment or film snobbery. It's a twice-a-week escape where we reflect, we review, and we raffle. I'm really excited. I'm unreasonably...
I kind of can't believe this is happening.
I
can't believe we're here.
I can't believe
It's
it.
finally happening, guys.
Oh,
we
it's happening.
are film bros, and we're finally doing it. We're talking about The Godfather. Na, 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 na. I see you got a little martini there, Steph.
Oh, yes, I do. Happy Italian Day.
Happy Italian Day. I was going to make a martini, but then I found out I have to pick up a child from school.
Yeah, that's not conducive with
Which
children.
I will be doing dressed like this. And I think if I'm also one martini deep when I do it, I think they won't let me at the school.
Probably.
As they shouldn't.
They'll be like, she smells like gin.
She smells like she drank a martini and then drove here.
And then drove here in leopard print.
In leopard print. Guys, I'm wearing leopard print because we're talking about like a mob movie.
Yeah, she's a mob wife. I don't know if you know. No, that was a joke for legal purposes.
That was a joke.
She's not.
When I first moved to LA, my friend Kristen said, yeah, you know, everybody in New York has a mafia story and everybody in LA has a Scientology story. And boy, has that been true in my experience.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. I'm so excited. We're finally, because I've seen Goodfellas. I've seen Casino. I've seen other mob movies. I've seen like old ones where people are man,
really old.
see?
Yeah.
But I have never in my life seen The Godfather. And
I
it
can't
became
even believe...
almost a point of pride to be well, I've never seen The Godfather. Not because I thought ill of the film, just because it made people go,
yeah. Totally. Isn't that funny? I feel like once you go long enough without seeing an iconic movie, you kind of dig your heels in. And you're like, well, now I'm not gonna... Yeah.
Should we jump into first impressions since
I
just saw it for the first time?
I cannot wait to hear your first impressions because I have seen this, albeit I saw it in a... And I think when we were talking about this on a different episode when we were kind of discussing how exciting it is that we'll be covering this, I mentioned that I wasn't even sure if I had ever seen the whole thing because I saw that Frankenstein version that I think HBO put out where they combined like Godfather 1 and 2 and 3 and just like smashed them together. Or maybe it was just 1 and 2, but either way.
Oy.
I was so confused watching that and I didn't realize that it was a smashed up version, probably because I was in college and God knows I was drinking. But I was watching it. And this time I realized, no, I have definitely seen the whole movie before, but it's almost, this is what I'm going to compare it to. It feels like reading a school book when you're too young and you're like, I don't really get the hype, you know?
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And this time I was like, hold the phone. Is this perfect? I am obsessed. That's my take. That's my first impression. I'm literally obsessed. I get it. I'm in. I'm sold. I'm bought in. Baby, I love it. This is, you know what? I'm going to say something crazy. Maybe we'll cut it. No, I don't know. I am an Italian-American lady, and the older generation of my dad's family, don't get it twisted. They were all very nice, normal people. But, you know, they sound and look exactly like the people in this movie. Not all of them, but like...
Really?
I'm gonna say something. These people comfort me. They make me feel, like, happy. I hear the accents. I hear the very intense, like, familia thing. Like, it feels so good to me, and I love it. It makes me so happy. And there's a lot of violence in this. It's a pretty upsetting, pretty dark film. A couple of times I gasped. But overall, this is just like a comfort movie, kind of like I love it. I love it so
Sound
much.
off at home. Is The Godfather a comfort movie for you? I think it is for a lot of people, actually. I think it is for a lot of people.
Because it's so iconic.
This is so many people's favorite movie.
Yes, and I actually, upon this watch, I get why. Whatever iterations I've seen of it before, and maybe I had just never really sat down and paid it the attention that it needs, because it does require a lot of attention and a lot of time.
Yeah. I tried to have my computer open while watching, and I had to stop it because
it's so subtle. Yeah.
Well, I have face blindness, and everybody has a craggy face and brown hair in this movie, and I couldn't tell any man apart for the first hour.
How dare you?
I had to look up.
James Caan doesn't look like
took me. I thought it was two different guys.
Are you shitting me?
I was like, oh, Paul, because I was texting with Paul, and I was like, who's that guy? That guy's so familiar. Who's that? And then another scene came up with him in it, and he was like, oh, James Caan. And I was like, oh, yeah, James Caan is in this. Anyway, who's that guy? And it took me until like an hour in, and I was like, I'm thinking of it's the same guy, and they're both James Caan.
Okay, good try. No, it's like sick that I only think of him in Elf. I'm sorry, James Caan. I'm so sorry.
No, but that's my favorite James Caan role.
Yeah, same. But that's my first impression is I'm obsessed. It is absolutely worth the hype. There is no there's one tiny thing that I hate about it, but it's almost like it makes sense within the movie, so whatever kind of thing.
Oh, I want to know what it is.
I get it. It's such an American movie. It's perfect. It's weird and dark and artful, and the lines are really, really well written. Incredible acting, like genuinely the best acting you'll find across the board. Just so good.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, yeah, young Diane Keaton.
Young Diane Keaton. Yeah, baby Al Pacino.
Baby Pacino.
Baby Pacino. He didn't even sound like that yet. Like he didn't even sound like that.
I know what you're saying. I just am obsessed overall, and yeah, big fan, love it. Alex, I cannot believe this is your first watch. Tell the people, what did you think of The Godfather?
Okay. I don't totally get all the hype, but don't log off. I have so much more to say. Don't calm down. It's going to be okay. Take a second. I thought it was an incredibly well-made film. The direction was so artful. Artful was a really great word for it. And really clearly deliberate, and the acting was exquisite. And the lines were so iconic, and I think that actually might have messed with my viewing experience a little. Like the scenes were so fair. Iconic that I'd only ever seen them parodied over and over again, so it was almost
totally
too meta to see them in their original form.
Yeah.
I found myself wishing I'd watched it in a movie theater so that I could really, really lock in. What I mean when I say I don't totally get the hype is not, I don't think this movie is one of the greatest films ever made. Like I recognize the cinematic achievement that this movie is, and I did enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
I want to know why it's so many like men's favorite movies. Like it's such a film bro movie. And I was talking with Paul about it, and we both were like, what is the appeal to like that, the specific demographic that like fucking loves The Godfather? And he was like, I think it's kind of similar to like the way people love American Psycho, but they don't totally get what it's saying.
Like the message of
American Psycho is a satire, but some people like are on Patrick Bateman's side in a lot of
crazy
ways.
behavior.
Crazy. I think there are a lot of people who love this movie because they think being a mobster looks really cool. And I don't really understand that approach to this. That's what I mean when I say I don't understand that love for this film because
Mhm.
when I watch it, all I can think is how terrible being a mobster looks. I'm like, this is a horrible life.
Totally.
Why would
Yeah,
anybody want to do this?
totally.
So I think what I mean when I say I don't get the hype is not I don't understand why this is a revered film. That I
Mhm, mhm.
completely understand and appreciate. And I cannot wait to see the second one.
Yeah,
Um, I, I find the cultural fixation on it to be a bit fascinating.
totally. I think that's fair. Yeah, I get it. I on the one hand, I sort of agree with you because I think there is a group of people. I think you're right that there's a group of people that think, "Oh, this is a vibe. This is cool." And
Yeah.
that's
That's why they
silly
like
because
Goodfellas too. And I'm like,
right. Which is kind of silly because this movie is kind of a classic tale of corruption and like the structure of it is actually I think a very classic clear um
tragedy.
tragedy exactly like
It's a
Shakespearean
tragedy. Yeah.
tragedy. And
Hmm.
the idea that people are like sick man is kind of like bizarre. Mm.
That's what I don't totally get.
Totally. I have a counter. But because I do agree
Please.
with your point completely. And I think that's true for maybe I'm about to give people too much credit. But my counter is that I think that's what all these boys are saying. But I think what they mean is I just wish people loved me enough to kill for me. Like it's like this like very like
Hmm.
obsessed loving that like I think really like people that are this is very generalized and like what I'm saying is
We're
not,
talking about a
you know.
specific group of people who love The Godfather. If this doesn't apply to you, then we're not talking about you.
Yes, and also even how I'm
Yeah.
about to explain this is a little it's very oversimplified, but just for the case of the argument, um I think there are a lot of men that don't watch other men on screen be like super loving and this is one of those
Hmm.
weird
Hmm.
instances where the love is behind violence. So it
Yes,
feels
they're
safe.
kissing all the time. They're
Yes.
avenging each other all the time.
Yes. So I think it feels like a safe thing, but really I believe that what people are attaching to more is literally the heart of the movie, which is love is the most important thing and makes you it will make you do crazy things for people and I do think there's something to be said for all these mob movies are really about like family and connection and love
Yes.
and male love with each other. They like would do anything
Hmm.
for each
Hmm.
other
Hmm.
except for but it's fine though because they're killing people. So it's chill like it's not about that. It's you know what I mean? Am I making sense?
Right. Oh, I think that's such an astute point. I think that is
I don't know
very
if I'm making
incisive. I think you're
sense.
totally right. I think it's that and the power fantasy, to be honest. I do
Totally.
think a lot of people are
Yes.
like, I
Yes.
wish I could just be, if somebody didn't give me what I want, I could just make them an offer that they
They
can't
can't
refuse. You know what I
refuse.
think? I
Totally.
think there is something also very seductive about that power fantasy. Although I'll be honest,
Mm.
I look at Don Corleone and I'm like, that doesn't look fun at all. He's never left alone. Everybody has to come and bother him all the time to show their loyalty. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what if I were him, I'd be like, look, I just want to like sit in a room by myself and play The Sims and eat Cheez-Its.
Oh yeah,
Please
none of
stop
that,
coming
none
to
of
my
that.
door.
I don't think there's a frame in this movie in which any of the Corleones are completely by themselves. I could be making that up, but I
No.
had that thought.
So that
And
aspect of the power dynamic I found very stressful. But
oh
I
yeah.
do think that it is a very seductive fantasy, this idea of like
Mhm.
achieving massive amounts of power that makes everyone kind of fear you and therefore grant you authority. I
Totally.
can see that being a bit of a power fantasy for people, especially if they feel trod on in their lives.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I think it's
100%.
both. I think that there is the like male intimacy aspect of it, which is so fascinating,
Mhm.
um, and a bit of the power fantasy, and then stuff it all into the turducken of the fact that it's a wildly well-made film about
Yeah.
an interesting story that's expertly acted by like the best in the biz.
The acting is truly insane, like actually crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't even recall that it was that good, but it is.
Well, we'll get into some fun facts about like why it's so Say it with me. Naturalistic.
Yes, it
1972. That
is.
was like part of the
So
new movement.
in. Yes, so in.
Mhm. Hey, before we move on, do you have a question for the audience?
Yeah, I do.
Mm.
If you were to approach Don Corleone, what would your request be?
Well, I'd be way less concerned with my request and way more concerned with like, what do I bring him to make him like me? I gotta invite him over for coffee, or he won't kill any rapists for me. Like, oh God, I'm
That's
sorry
so
I didn't
true, so true.
break out the Folgers. I would go and I would say, will you be my pickleball
Yep.
partner, please?
Mm.
Because I think Vito Corleone needs a hobby.
A hobby. Totally agree.
I think that he would really benefit from a hobby. And actually, it's one of the first, the whole opening sequence with the wedding. That is very. The other thing, my other first impression is I didn't
Really
know this movie
long.
was 3 hours.
How did you not? That's one of the things people
I don't
talk
know.
about.
I don't know. And I was on a little bit of a time crunch because I had to cook dinner for some people and I was starting to get a little stressed. But that's not The Godfather's fault.
No.
So at the beginning, like the whole first 40 minutes of the wedding and everything, one of the first things I texted Paul was like, do you think he has like hobbies? Do you think he does things for fun? What's he doing on his time, like free time?
He doesn't have it.
Well, that's why I would
it.
ask him to be my pickleball partner and we'd go and have fun.
That's very sweet. That's really nice.
What would you ask him?
Oh, I would be like, Rockwood Music Hall closed in the city and I need you to make it reopen.
Please reopen it. That is it. That is the right answer. That is the right answer. While you're at it, can you do Colony Records too?
Yep.
Please. Thank you, Vito.
Be nice
Thank
about
you,
it, but make it happen. Thank you, Godfather.
Yeah, don't kill anybody, but if you could bring Rockwood Music Hall all 3 stages back, that would be
so great.
Please.
That's my request.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
My question for the audience was just like, why would anybody want this job?
I can't give you a single goddamn answer. Well, actually, because power corrupts. That's the answer.
Yes, and you're raised in it, and it's a lot of indoctrination.
Yes, you don't know any better.
If you're a lackey, why are you doing that job? You're gonna get killed.
No, Alex, I have the
You're disposable.
The conciliary, I was like, oh, new least favorite job, unlocked.
Yeah, I thought it was being like a lineman, like working with electricals.
A conciliary?
No, I don't want to be a conciliary. No. My least favorite job.
Oh,
my least favorite job.
Well, that one's bad too, but this is worse.
Yeah, this is the worst gig. It's like being a henchman. You're just disposable. Why would you take that job? But I guess they probably don't have much of a choice.
You don't have a choice. And also, I think you genuinely do the thing where you're like, but not me, though. I won't die, though. I'm the best one.
That's not how I think. I'm always like, it'll probably be me.
It'll probably be me. Yeah, totally.
Guess I shouldn't do that. It's too dangerous. Yeah, I just, when I watch any mob, because I really like mob, like information and stories. I did a lot of research on it. Yeah, I did an immersive show about a true story that had to do with one of the 5 families in New York City.
Oh, yeah,
a long time ago. And then when I was writing my show about Thelma Todd, I did tons of research on the mob's relationship with the film industry in the 1920s and 30s, which is fascinating. And like everything that Al Capone did during and after Prohibition, a lot into Lucky Luciano. Like I do find it interesting. I think I have a harder time with mob movies, even though like they are like set up for story structure and drama. Like I enjoy, like I loved Goodfellas. I love Casino. I really enjoyed this, but I do think it can get a bit. They killed one of our guys, so now we got to kill one of their guys. Yeah. Oh, one of their guys got killed, so they're going to come and kill one of our guys. And that goes back and forth a lot. And at a certain point, I'm like, can we try something different?
It's what they do.
It's what they do. Anywho, yeah, not a job I would want personally.
Oh my God, absolutely not. Hello?
We're just having like a lot of booms outside.
Weird.
I don't know.
Boo.
Must be construction nearby.
Mhm.
Well, before we continue, we want to give a special shout out to our Patreon listeners. Guys, if you are a Patreon listener, hi. You can watch
Hi.
this on video form. You can see Steph's martini. You can see my leopard print. Look at it. Look how nice that looks.
Gabagoo.
Gabagoo.
I'm sorry, that was probably offensive. But I'm Italian, I can say it.
You're Italian. You're not just Italian, you're Italian American from New Jersey. So I feel like if anyone can say gabagool, you can.
Don't you do me like that.
If you're listening or watching on Patreon, hi. We do offer video episodes on our Patreon and also weekly discussion episodes. Every Thursday, we are going to be playing another movie score guessing game this week with a special guest. So please tune in for that. We do rankings. We've done favorite comedy scenes this season. A great one that we did was like favorite movie kisses. That was fun.
Mhm.
Movies we've lied about liking or seeing.
Oops.
We've movies that traumatized us, and we've played guess the movie line. We've played pitching movies into rides. We really have some fun over on the Patreon.
So many.
So please come and join us over there. And while you're over there, you can comment on this episode and let us know. What would your request for Don Corleone? What would your request for The Godfather be?
What would you go to Don Corleone on the day of his daughter's wedding and ask
On the
for?
day of his daughter's wedding.
Do you
I've
just think
heard
of
that in so many
Zootopia?
movies.
I
did think of Zootopia during that scene, yes. And I think of John Belushi putting grapes in the bottom of his mouth as well.
Yeah, John Belushi.
This is the thing. My relationship with this movie is entirely parody-based, so it was kind of weird for me to watch it.
I think that's true for a lot of people, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
By the way, while we're on the subject of the Patreon, we want to give a special shout out to our and the Oscar Bros 2 tier listeners. As always, thank you so much to Kristen, Sarah, Brian, Josh, Vicky, Brandon, Sally, Paul, Dominic, Casey Ma, Patrick, Howard, Anna Mae, Jessica, Lenny G, Lynn Audrey, and John Johns. We love you guys.
You did it.
All right. And we are going to go make an offer that they can refuse.
We're going to make it
And
up.
we'll be right back after these messages. It's my De Niro, who's in the sequel, right? Robert
Yeah,
De Niro?
De Niro's in part 2.
Yes, he auditioned
Hey.
for Michael.
Really? There you go.
Mhm. So
you go.
did James Caan.
Yes, I read that. James Caan was perfect in the role that he was in. Loved that
So
he
great as Sonny.
Sonny.
Loved him.
Mhm.
I love James Caan. It's crazy to me that the studio wanted Robert Redford and Ryan O'Neal. And I'm like, you wanted Robert Redford and Ryan O'Neal to play Michael Corleone?
Good try. We're going to need someone with a Pacino.
That would be like me playing Michael Corleone.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if I would buy
That's
it.
silly. No. So speaking of which, let's jump into some fun facts about
Let's
Francis
jump
Ford Coppola's
in.
The Godfather Part 1. Steph,
It's
you
an-
got any fun facts to share?
Yeah, what a wild behind the scenes situation this movie is. It's actually crazy. So number one, in the 70s, the mob was still very much relevant and around. And they did not like that this movie was being made at all. It was made
Yikes.
really close to when the book came out. So this was a book by the same name by, I think, Mario Pucci is his name. Puzo?
His name is right at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, they have it right at the beginning. And the book was a massive success. And actually, Paramount bought the rights to it for really, really cheap. Too cheap! Because the writer needed to get out of gambling debt.
Damn.
sold it
Tales
for
old as time.
Tales all this time. So he sold his script for too cheap. Then during the making of the film, the Italian American Civil Rights League started a campaign to stop the making of the film. Interesting.
Because they thought it like misrepresented them, or?
Yes, I think, well, number one, I think that they didn't want a movie being made about their goings-ons, mostly.
Okay, fair.
And also felt that it was a stereotype in some capacity, which, in some ways maybe it is. But the the mob reached an agreement with production that they could go forward without any more threats, because they did leave threatening. They shot up one of the producer's cars and left a threatening letter on his hood that said, like, basically, stop making this or else. And they came to an agreement that the movie could go forward with being made as long as the word mafia was never used, and it never was.
Which it isn't. I noticed that.
Which is kind of, you can tell when you're like, wait, why aren't they saying what they are?
But
yeah,
I'm not sure that they do. Don't they usually say like the families or like?
Yes, but like it's weird for it to never be said. But that was,
right.
you know, one of the agreements. The wedding scene is one of the most interesting filming techniques that happen. So basically, the sound in the wedding scene is really interesting. It was the first time that they used this particular filmmaking technique, which now is used all the time. It's this combination of playing the sound. So, for instance, in the wedding, there is music being played through speakers. They actually played it through speakers.
Little Louis Prima.
Love it. I'm so sorry to my family. I don't know the words.
I'm sorry to your family, too.
Yeah, no. It is funny, like, this wedding sequence, I turned to Dan, I was like, it's like looking in a mirror. Not the mob part. But
well, you're gonna have to say that a lot today.
But I'm saying,
I
like,
read
the
that
way
the wedding
sings.
scene. Yeah, I read that the wedding scene was shot in 2 days, and that he had everybody stay in character and just do a wedding all day.
Yes,
and that's how everything came off so naturalistic.
Totally, which it really does. And then they had the sound so natural because they really did play the wedding music through the speakers, and then they also layered over that music in post, and it was the first time of melding basically that. So you got the chattering of the crowd, the music spatially, and then also layers of dialogue and music over it. And it was the first time they did that, which is kind of wild because it's really common now. But really, really smart. And yeah, it's interesting because Francis Ford Coppola, in like what you just said, he has this kind of odd filmmaking style, which is he just lets people go crazy. Like, he's just like, okay, we're just going to do this really long, weird thing, and we're just going to do it forever and just see if something happens.
Which I think really pays off in this movie in particular.
Yes. In this movie, it works. In other movies, I don't know.
That's neither here nor there today.
We're not talking about that.
The Godfather.
We're not talking about it.
We're not talking about Megalopolis. We talked about it last year.
Yeah. Did you watch Megadoc?
Not yet. Oh my God. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I know I'm gonna. But right now I'm in a praising Francis Ford Coppola mood because I do think that this approach was so successful for this film. And interestingly enough, it also was kind of one of the things that almost got him fired by the studio because they did not like his ultra naturalistic and slow way of making this movie. They wanted it much more sensational, and it wasn't until he filmed the scene where Michael whacks the crooked cop and the guy who I thought was kind of cute.
Who?
The
Alex?
bad guy. What's his name? I don't know, the Italian one.
What do you mean the bad guy?
The guy,
Which
the
one?
rival guy.
They're all
I can't keep
bad.
track. No, I know everybody in this movie is bad except for Kay.
Michael
but
has
Kay
somebody
also is on my list.
Wait, the drug
guy with the big nose and the
drug guy.
He's got really nice smile lines. Yeah, I thought he was kind of cute.
The drug guy.
The drug guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so when Michael whacked, the scene where Michael whacks those two in the restaurant was the one where was the scene that convinced the studio to to go with his vision. And another way that I read that he Another way that I read that he encouraged the naturalism was instead of having traditional rehearsals, he would have family dinners and would have them all come in character and just eat together, all in character. And it built up this like very naturalistic rhythm between them.
That's cool.
And that pays off in spades in this movie, I think.
Really cool. Yeah, definitely. I will say, I don't know if you had this feeling. In watching all of the actors in their portrayals, I was like, this is iconic. Like, the Marlon Brando, his physicalization of everything, I was like, it almost reminds me of the Jack Sparrow thing where you can't even believe that they came up with all of those little tiny idiosyncrasies. And at the same time, I kept thinking, oh my God, this seems like it would have been a nightmare to be there.
Well, okay. Let's talk about Marlon Brando. So
I don't really want to do it.
The thing about Marlon Brando is he's undeniably a brilliant
Genius.
in every sense of the word.
Genius.
He's a genius actor, and you can see that in like I think all of his work, even in Superman, he is so phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the problem is, so Paramount did not want him because they thought he was like a box office dud, and he's like famously like hard to wrangle. And so they were like,
I've heard
we don't want him. Yep. And Francis Ford Coppola had to sort of trick him into doing a screen test. He called it a makeup test, but it was really a screen test that he had to show the studio. And the studio were obviously incredibly impressed.
Yeah.
But they wanted Laurence Olivier, which I actually also kind of think would have been amazing.
They're it.
Polar opposite actors. Polar opposite. Marlon Brando is like a Strasbourg guy, who I believe appears in The Godfather too, by the way.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Brando's an actor studio guy. So I think I would have loved to see like Laurence Olivier's take on it, but it's impossible to think of anyone other than Brando doing the role.
Yeah.
Now here's what grinds my gears a tiny bit.
Oh,
This is what I'm about to say is completely morally neutral. It is not good or bad that he did this.
Okay.
I just find it annoying.
Okay, got it.
He did not learn his lines, and he would use cue cards and even go so far as to like he'd have cue cards taped to like other actors' backs so that he could read off of them. Now, some people who worked on the film said they thought he did it because he like was checked out. I don't think you can see his performance and think he was checked out personally. No. I think he was very, very invested. Some people said they thought he maybe was worried about memorization. What he said was that he is a Stanislavski Strasbourg guy, and he didn't like when people spoke in movies like they'd learned lines, because people don't learn lines. They don't know what they're going to say at any given moment. And so he kind of wanted to like bring the naturalism of a cold read. It wasn't cold. Obviously, he knew what the scene was about and he'd done the like character work, but he wanted the naturalism of a cold read to bring it in. And again, that is completely neutral, and every actor is entitled to their own process. I do think that gets dangerously close to butting into other actors' processes, which is something I don't like.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. And I also feel like I think he's a brilliant actor. I think he could probably learn his lines and still make it sound like he was thinking of it for the first time.
Yeah,
but, you know what? That's kind of like an infamous story of Brando on set.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna I knew that was going to be the answer, is that he was saying he was doing that method because on the one hand, as someone who is unfortunately a Meisner lady, I get it. Like there is some
love Meisner.
Yes. And Meisner isn't necessarily don't learn your lines, but like in the beginning of class, you often are told to pick things up off the page without any sort of like prior inflection knowledge, whatever. And I do think there's some merit to that, but I also think it is, if I were a lowly PA on that set and I had to keep his cue cards going, I would be like, are you fucking with me? Come on.
Aren't you Marlon Brando?
Aren't you Marlon Brando?
Right.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I do see the merit in it. Personally, I love a cold read. I actually feel like I thrive
I
in a
do
cold
too.
read because there is something to the spontaneity of kind of knowing what you're saying as you're saying it.
Yes.
And I think it's a really useful exercise. I don't know how I feel about it being taped to like other actors' backs, but then again,
No,
he is the Godfather, and like, you know what
that's true.
I
Maybe it even helped
mainly
their
I think it's interesting.
Yes.
Maybe
It's
it
it's an
did. You know what I
interesting
mean?
choice. Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting choice. There have been far more egregious methods
Yes.
used by other actors that butt into other actors'
For sure.
processes.
I'm sure he's
that
been more
really
annoying.
are deserving of criticism. He probably has, kind of infamously.
Yeah.
Also, the little cat that he's stroking in the wedding scenes. That's a stray cat that Francis Ford Coppola found, and he brought it in and gave it to Marlon Brando. And Marlon Brando said he really liked having the cat, and he just sat on his lap all day.
I love that.
I know.
I love it.
Obviously, there's 8 million things we could say.
Yes.
About the making of The Godfather. One more thing I'll throw in is that the house, the Godfather house,
gimme.
real house on Staten Island, and it was used and identified as such in the latest season of Only Murders in the Building, because the mob family in that season lived in the Godfather house, and that was a
Oh my
whole
God, and I
bit
watched
and plot
that.
point.
Yes, I didn't even. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that really was that house.
Isn't that crazy?
Can't believe.
Oh,
I love
and
that house.
I think maybe most importantly, the horse head was real. The horse head was real. It was gotten from a dog food factory. Which, what?
Yeah, shut them down? Question mark? What's happening? That is
Why couldn't it have been a fake horse head?
That was so foul. That was so fucked up.
Well, and I'd heard about that scene. Like, I knew that there's a scene where a guy wakes up with a horse's head in his bed. I didn't know it was going to be that gross. Like, I really don't know why I thought.
So bad.
The fact that he, like, it's at the foot, like, his feet is so horrible.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Oh, and he got such good screaming.
He did do a good job. I read that was real, and I literally blocked it out as I was watching it. I was like, no, I'm going to pretend it's not.
You said, no, it's not.
I said, no. I don't like that.
What the hell?
Yeah, literally, what the I mean, it probably made him scream more realistically. But why does the dog food company have, you know what? I'm going to leave it.
That's the real thing we need to start doing some investigative journalism about.
No, I don't like that.
No, like it. You want to talk about the score?
Yes, I love it.
We gotta check the score. Mafia family.
It's time
kissing all
for
over
a
the
little
place.
Sunday dinner.
What if these men just kissed instead of killing each other? Not the family members, but like the ones who aren't related.
Right, not related people. Yeah.
Right. So the Godfather score is one of the most iconic scores in cinema history, and I think for very good reason. The second title sequence starts, even before the title sequence even starts, and you hear those slutty trumpets, you're like, all right, I'm watching The Godfather, let's go. And that sounds a little bit like this.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
I think right off the bat, you know this is going to be a tragedy. I think it sets the tone for the incoming tragedy structure right away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the score was written by Italian composer Nino Rota. Giovanni Rota Rinaldi is his full name. He is a very famous Italian composer who's also done film scores. Before this, he worked with Fellini. He worked with Visconti. He also did the score for Franco Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet, which is a very famous.
I love that score.
Very famous film score. So Coppola hired him to create the underscore, and he flew to Rome with a copy of the film to give to him and said, can you score this? And he said, yep, and I'm going to do it thematically. I'm going to relate to situations and characters in the film. And that's why we get some very thematic, iconic pieces like that, which is the main title, aka The Godfather Waltz. And we also get the love theme, which I'm going to play in a moment, which is wildly iconic. Paramount also didn't want him to score because they thought it was too highbrow. They wanted a different movie.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah.
And little did they know, like,
they wanted Scarface.
A masterpiece for the ages was in the process of being made. But yeah, they wanted something a little pulpier. And thank God Coppola didn't listen, because if you got to give it to Francis Ford Coppola. He knows what he wants to make, and he's going to make it.
Yes. And he will sell a winery to do it.
He will.
Sorry. I'm sorry. It was low-hanging fruit.
Let's take a little listen to the love theme from The Godfather. I mean, it just doesn't get more iconic than that.
Just
Stellar.
fabulous.
Exquisite. And the critics that were like covering the making of the film at the time, one critic said, we don't know how the movie's going to turn out, but the score is a success already. Like,
wow.
Even if the movie turns out bad, the score is going to succeed.
I totally agree. It's one of those pieces that feels like it could stand alone, and it still feels like it's telling its own story.
Yes.
And then with the visuals, it's even more enhanced and incredible. But I just love this score. It's really affecting.
Me too. And it just so successfully captures all the elements of the film, the epicness, the family, the heritage, the kind of crossing the ocean of it all, and the fact that what we're about to watch is going to be a tragedy.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, it's going to be because of that opening horn, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's do it. Let's talk about
Oh my gosh. Let's talk about The Godfather. I love it. Okay. So, guys, we're not going to do as specific a play-by-play because this is a long movie, as Alex mentioned.
It's too long.
But we can always do a part 2 or The Godfather part 2. Okay.
I would like to do The Godfather part 2.
Yeah, me too. Get a little De Niro in the mix.
Gotta get De Niro in the mix.
Now, we open up with, of course, the iconic score and the credits, and then this is one of the things that impresses me the most about The Godfather. In this one sequence, which is, yes, the wedding sequence, but I would say the wedding's so long. So let's say the first half of the wedding sequence.
It's so long.
It's really long. We know who everyone is. They're standing in the family. We understand their pull. We understand their dynamic. It's like crazy. Yes?
I don't know who anyone is. I'm sorry. I know this is on me.
Jesus
this is on
Christ.
me. I recognize this as a me problem.
We all look
but I
different.
couldn't keep anyone straight.
You look me in my face.
I mean, they did a great job of covering exposition through like realistic dialogue.
Yes.
I think I'm just stupid because I was like, wait, who's related to who?
Really? Oh my God, to me? Well, see, okay. Yeah. I really do feel like every single one of these people I have like met and talked to, minus the guns. But like,
guys, Steph's family is not like this family in the organized crime way. Don't spread that rumor.
But they talk like it and they look like it. So, but I just, it's so funny. Like, I feel that they're so distinct. But I don't know. I just find that natural dialogue to really work for me because it feels like they're giving us all the background we need without like hitting us over the head with it, if that makes sense. They're not being like, oh, no.
I'm not blaming the movie for this. Yeah. This is on me. I cannot tell craggy-faced, brown-haired, middle-aged men apart. I can't do it.
My goodness. No, I'm just kidding. That's fair.
I feel the same way, but it's like I feel the same way when I watch the Country Music Awards or Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I can't tell any of those people apart.
Okay, the Mormon wives, that's fair. That's valid. I agree. I don't know who anyone is. I'm sorry, Mormon wives.
I do like that we kick off with that really great long shot of the request, the first request, that then pays off right at the end.
And I
Well, not right
learned
at the end, but towards
that
the end.
yes, I've been using a word wrong. And I knew both of these words, but I kept saying it wrong. And then eventually Dan was like, you mean a different word. I was saying, I love. So we open up on this request. Someone is coming to the Godfather. He's asking for his help. And he's asking for his help because his daughter was raped, and a trigger warning for anyone.
And
but
beaten to a pulp.
And beaten to a pulp. So, you know what? I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Dare I say fair enough? There's a couple people in this movie that I'm like, yeah, go get him.
He had it coming. Yeah, no, I was hit him harder.
No, I know. There were a couple times that I was like, yeah. Don Corleone, you can deal with this guy. I'll turn the other way.
Take care of that guy. I won't look.
Yeah. I don't condone violence, but So this guy's coming with this request, which, seems reasonable. And one of the filming techniques that's used often is that the background is so dark and not lit at all that it looks like the person speaking is in this liminal space. And I kept saying
in
subliminal.
A void. Oh, it's not subliminal. It's liminal.
It's just liminal. But I kept saying, like, that guy, he's in the subliminal space again.
Subliminal Space is a good band name.
Oh my gosh, it is. Write that down.
Yeah.
No, but I really do love that technique.
It's very effective, and it does make you feel sort of like, oh my God, I'm out of place in space and time, because this guy's like
it's
a
weird.
god. He's like a god, and
Yes.
it's like groveling at the foot of a god.
And I think this random guy's acting performance was really lovely in the very beginning. Buonasera. And of course, in the background, we have a gigantic wedding, which that juxtaposition is really interesting too.
It's the business and the personal, and the fact that they cannot be unintertwined, and that everything to do with this person's job is related to family.
Exactly. Yes, it's all about the family. Yes. And his daughter's getting married. Don Corleone's doing business. And we are introduced to all the family members, including Sonny, who's a very, what's the word? Irrational son?
I love Sonny, but
this
is when I went, oh, that guy. Oh, who's that guy? And then Paul was like, James Caan. And I was like, oh yeah, James Caan is in this movie. Anyway, who's Sonny?
I thought he was a different guy. He looks the same. He has
different hair, and it threw me off.
That's fair. Okay, the hair is a lot more.
I think Sonny's my favorite character.
Really? He's so rash. He makes such bad choices.
Yeah, but I like when he uses his powers for good, like beating up his brother-in-law.
No, that guy needs to be thrown off a bridge. Sorry to that man. Actually, no, I'm not.
Well, something happens to him.
That's true.
Off a bridge, but
but yeah, that was he had it coming. But yeah, Sonny is very rash. He's sort of like I don't know if the word would be like the bulldog of the family. I don't know. He has this sort of
he's
like
a hothead.
snappy. Yeah, he's a hothead. We have Michael Corleone, who we know has stepped away from the family business. He wants to be a normal guy. He doesn't want to be in the mob.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
I'm so sorry, Michael, but accidentally you've found yourself in a movie all about how you become the head guy. So
yeah, good start.
Sorry.
Buddy. Yeah,
he's so innocent at the beginning. It's such a transformation.
It is kind of amazing. His character arc is truly remarkable. And then we meet his gorgeous girlfriend, Kay. Played by the very, very young Diane Keaton. I love her to death.
Francis Ford Coppola said that he cast her because the character of Kay could be boring, and he wanted to cast someone, quote, weird. And he was like, she's really unique and she's kind of weird, and that's why I wanted her. And I'm like,
it's kind of accurate.
That is, Diane Keaton's energy is different.
It is, and in the best way. She's so interesting in this. We are introduced to the daughter, who is her crash outs are insane.
I support every last one.
No. Same. I'm like, all right, if anyone's allowed to do this, it's her. But they're just so long.
You throw
they're
those
so
plates, girl.
lengthy.
You throw them.
And we meet a singer who has been... He is where he is because Don Corleone did him some favors.
It's like a friend of the family.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep track of this. There's 8 million people.
There's a lot of...
There's
a lot.
brown-haired men.
That's so fair. And we are
Except
also...
for Robert Duvall, who's sort of blonde.
Robert Duvall. Yeah, that's true. And he is one of the most fascinating characters in anything. He is the
Totally.
consigliere, which is the...
Tom.
So he is basically... he's like Tyrion Lannister. Same thing.
He's like their lawyer, basically.
He's their lawyer plus. Lawyer plus.
Yeah, a lawyer plus. Subscribe now to Lawyer Plus.
Subscribe now, and your lawyer will do bad deeds. Oh my God,
put a
that
horse's
sounds
head
really
in your
dirty.
enemy's bed.
Yeah. So we have all of these different players, and one of my favorite, actually, this is a really interesting fun fact, and one of my favorite side characters, I'm forgetting his name, but the really big, brawny guy that does deeds.
My other favorite character.
Yes.
Oh, see, I had to have the whole time watching this, I had a page up that had like the character names, their actors, and a picture of them because I couldn't keep anyone straight.
That is hysterical. Yeah, no,
that guy's name is... That's not Luca Brasi. Oh, Clemenza.
Luca Brasi. Oh, I'm talking about Luca Brasi.
Oh, okay. I was talking about Clemenza. Luca
also
Brasi,
good.
yeah, he. Well, I also mix them up a lot, so. And my other
Luca
favorite
Brasi.
character, Fredo, played by the wonderful John Cazale, who is my hey,
Fredo.
look, it's that guy.
Oh,
John Cazale used to go out with Meryl Streep. Brilliant stage
Did
actor,
he?
was in The Deer Hunter, died tragically young.
Did he?
Great
I don't know
actor.
any of this. Oh, that's so sad. He
Yeah.
was fabulous in this. He really, all of his stuff in Vegas was, I mean, he made me laugh. He did.
He got my look in the movie then, too. We'll get to it.
Oh, yes, he did. But no, Luca Brasi, who's this big guy, is practicing what he's going to say when he goes in to thank Don Corleone because he didn't think he'd be invited to the wedding.
Which, by the way, the reason that was written in, do you know the reason that was written in?
Yes. I
you
think
do?
so.
Tell the people.
So that man was actually a mobster. And they... Woo! And he basically was one of the people that was hanging around to make sure that the movie, like, I don't know, they were checking in on the movie. They loved him so much that they hired him on, but he had never acted before. So he really was nervous about learning his lines, and he was nervous about saying them, and he was really nervous about acting with the one and only Marlon Brando. Imagine, you're just like thrown into acting and it's Marlon Brando.
Horrifying.
And yeah, they loved it so much that he was practicing his lines that they added it into the movie.
I Googled him because I was so fascinated by him.
He's
so his
fab.
name is Lenny Montana Slay. He was an enforcer for the Colombo crime family, and he was also a professional wrestler. And then he came to be in The Godfather, and
What a life he's led.
He could not get his lines out, and so they wrote a scene with him.
I love him.
practicing.
Isn't that just... See, I know I shouldn't be like, oh, cute, an enforcer for a crime family. But I am. What's wrong with me?
This movie invites it. It invites it.
It does. And I love him. And we have this whole very, very long... So, did your attention wane at any point during this movie? Okay.
It did. I'm really sorry, guys. Don't yell at me. I did.
Don't yell at her.
Like 30 minutes, I texted Paul and I was like, I'm bored.
Really?
I was like, can some stuff start happening? I'm bored.
Really?
But then stuff did happen. Stuff
It
happened
did.
and I was fine. But my attention did start to wane because I felt like I was getting so much
Wow.
information. I was having a hard time keeping track of it.
Totally.
And it just kept going.
And it just kept going and going. It is long. Listen, it's one of the things it's known for, and it's long.
Did your attention wane?
No, honestly.
Okay.
But I think I'm just obsessed. I think I'm obsessed. Also, see, I was going to say, these are my people, but I can't say that.
These are not your people.
These
They're-
are not
they're
my
your
people.
people adjacent.
They're my people. No, I just found everyone so fascinating to watch that my attention didn't. It was like, I felt like I was in an acting class. You know what I mean?
Well, that was enthralling, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. My attention did wane a tiny bit.
That's okay. That's okay. That's fair. Right. Okay.
Well, so then they start like things get kicked off because they start killing each other. Once one person kills one person, then they gotta kill one person, and then the person then gotta kill, and it's just like an endless loop. And I'm like, guys, there has to be a better system.
There has to be. Yeah, basically, which this is an interesting idea because I believe this is one of the things that got rid of some of the mob's power, which is the introduction of drugs and drug trade into the mix here. So we have someone coming in. He's saying, come on, join my party. I'm gonna sell drugs. And Don Corleone is like, I'm not gonna do that. We don't mix up with that. And that doesn't go well for the Corleones. And Luca Brasi, who I love, was killed in a very dramatic fashion. He was choked.
Yeah, they garroted him. Yikes.
That was killing number one. And then
Salazzo, that's the drug guy's name.
Salazzo.
He's the one who I think is kind of handsome. Because I think he looks like Bobby Cannavale and like Jerry Orbach a little bit. Like, I just like a guy. He's got big features.
You know what? You know what? I kind of get it. I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't condone his behavior.
No.
I just think the actor has a nice face. That's all.
He just has a nice face. No, he does. He's also a great actor, which is attractive when people are really good at acting.
Yes.
You know.
He's scary in this.
And he's really scary.
So, R.I.P. Luca Brasi. We liked you.
But I love that shot of his eyes, like
scary. Yeah.
Amazing.
So that kind of kicks off the action.
Sure does. And then, of course, we had the moment where I was like, have I seen this movie before? Because huge obviously we're spoiling the whole thing, but there is a attack on the Godfather himself.
Gets gunned down in the street, and I went, oh my God, is this like Psycho? The main character gets killed in the first 20 minutes?
That's
Little
what
did
I
I know.
said.
Vito Corleone is not the main character of this movie.
No, he's not. No, he's not. But I did the same thing. I was like, oh my God, does he die? The Godfather dies in The Godfather? Which,
I was like, why is it called The Godfather? The Godfather dies. Now
I know.
I finished the movie.
Get
now
it.
I understand why it's called The
it.
Godfather.
Yeah, but I really thought he was dead. And then I was like, have I seen this? And then I remembered, no, he's not dead. He's not dead. But it sure seems like
he is in the hospital and he's in danger. And I loved all the scenes in the hospital. They were so high tension and fascinating. Loved him, loved him, loved him.
Same. I feel like the tension in this movie in general is really well done. Like there were a couple times that I was nervous.
Oh yeah, because you know something's off. This is why I'm like, why would anyone want to be a mobster? You cannot enjoy anything. You can't, like, you might get some money. You're not going to be able to enjoy it because you're just constantly going to be like, am I going to get shot? Like, why?
I agree.
That doesn't sound like a nice time to me.
Totally agree with you. And the hospital basically, this is when, so Michael, he was out. He was not in the, he was a civilian, as they say.
He was going to marry Kay and be a regular guy.
He was going to be a regular old man. And he hears of the shooting of his father and it pulls him back in. And
just when I thought I was out.
Michael is now pulled back in because his father almost dies. And in this scene, he directly involves himself in this situation. And there's a really great, if anybody, shout out to a different creator, but Dan and I watch all of Thomas Flight's video essays. We're like obsessed with them. He's an awesome, and he does really great analysis of film. And he has a whole video on that tiny sequence where Michael flips the lighter open and his hand isn't shaking. And how that's the turning point. And it's really great. So everyone should go watch that. Love Thomas Flight, but it is interesting.
This is what I mean when I say, like, I fully understand why people regard this as a cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like, it undeniably is.
Totally. And he does end up keeping a hit from happening on his father again, and his father lives. And not only does his father live, but Michael is then tasked with retaliation, baby, because it's all about retaliating.
Yeah, and he gets into it. He, like, wants to do it. And his brother and people are like, okay, well, like, hold on. And he's like, no. This guy's crooked. I want to kill him. And they tell him so many times, drop the gun right away.
Oh my God, were you like, drop it?
I was yelling, drop it. Drop the gun. Michael.
To be fair, he had just shot people point blank, like, you know.
I thought you wanted to do it, Michael.
Oh my.
Also, we ruined all
You
those
sound like
other
Don
people's
Corleone.
nice dinner.
You wanted to. You wanted to shoot those nice people. Now drop the gun.
I thought you wanted to, so drop the gun.
But that whole dinner sequence, I think, is really, really great. At the tension in that, I was like, oh my God.
Thrilling. So that happens before Sonny. Sonny's still alive at that point.
Sonny's
right.
still alive. And there is sort of a little bit of tension with Sonny's way of doing things and Michael's way of doing things, because Sonny just wants to start fighting, which, by the way, can I give I wish we had an award for dumbest person in the world for...
Well, we just made one.
How dare you marry the daughter of a gangster and beat her, you idiot?
That's what I said. I was like, how stupid do you have to be to beat up? First of all, beating up your wife is wrong no matter what.
Yeah. At baseline.
How like, what special brand of moron do you have to be to do it to a woman whose dad is the Godfather and whose brothers have explicitly said they will fucking kill you? Like,
that's
how
what I'm
stupid
saying.
do you have to be? This guy is a moron.
That's what I'm saying. Alex, I was like screaming, like, of all the things, she literally can't hide it. Her entire family kills people. That's their whole deal. What are you doing?
Which is why when Sonny went over and just ripped him a fucking new one, I was like, see, Sonny, sometimes you use your powers for good. And I love that.
Yeah.
Hit him harder with the trash can lid.
Kick him more.
A few more times.
Drown him in the thing. Yeah, I love it.
Waterboard him in the fire hydrant.
Like, it's the one thing. Sonny is such a hothead, like you said. He is gonna just freak out and he's gonna do things, and for better or worse. But in this case, I said, let him have it, let him go, let him run free.
He had it coming. I was like, no, see, that's who you want as your brother. If
you're gonna be your
husband turns out to be a
wife,
fucking asshole,
you're gonna.
By the way, that was such a movie pregnancy.
I know.
She's like this big with a belly like this. I was like, no, that's a pretend pregnancy.
I know. It's such an obvious, but you know what? I don't care. It worked.
I don't care. I was like, stab him. Yeah. Stab him.
I was like,
get blood on the satin that you have everywhere in your house. Smash those plates. Girl, stab him.
Oh
she
my
made
God.
a mistake not stabbing him.
That crash out, Alex, I was like, whoa. Listen, if she can do whatever the fuck she wants in her situation.
At that
truly.
point, you go, girl.
You go, girl. But it lasted so long.
Yeah.
Her crash out so long. But yeah, maybe most valid movie crash out, if we can add that to that episode, like retroactively.
We did a most valid movie crash outs episode.
I'd like to add
neither
that.
of us had really spent enough time with The Godfather to know that this belongs near the top.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Connie's crash outs are so valid, and her
so
husband
valid.
is such a moron.
He's so, not only is he the worst type of person, he's also dumb.
Which is adding insult to injury. Yeah. I think it has to do with him wanting to assert dominance. He doesn't like her family and wants to be like, but I'm in charge of my house. And Italian tradition says that veto can't interfere, which is crazy.
Right. Hate, also not true.
That's what,
in my experience.
So he's just saying it.
Well, he says, he says he can't interfere with a husband and wife, right? Or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think my family would probably murder somebody that did that, but that's, oh, I shouldn't say
I would
that.
hope.
Oh my God, I keep really dropping.
We'll just cut that. We'll just cut that. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, you know what? On this one, I'm with Sonny.
Yeah.
You go, Sonny.
Oh, you go, Sonny. Not always, but in
Yep.
this case, hell yeah. And now we're in
Heck
open
yeah.
warfare in the streets, which, guys,
The
hug
five
it out.
families are just killing each other. That's what I'm saying. At the end, when they all sit down, I'm like, oh, we could have done this. We could have all just sat down at a table.
And it's like, genuinely, they're all just sitting in a room. Like, come on.
Having a nosh, like having a big spread.
Yes.
I'm like, so what if we did this a couple years ago before everyone just started getting massacred all over the
I know.
place?
I know. No, yeah, ridiculous. But in this case, they're in like open warfare, basically. And Fredo, I always say it wrong,
Fredo.
He goes to Las Vegas. He's holding down the fort over there. One of the five families is, I know. One of the five families.
He's in a whole other movie over there.
And he's in a much better movie.
He's in Casino.
He's in a way better movie.
Like, yeah,
for him,
I want to be in that movie.
He's vibing. He's over there. One of the five families guys basically owns a lot of the stuff in Vegas, so that's where he is. And then the other five families are duking it out in the city. And one of the very, very sad things that happen. Oh, and by the way, we forgot to mention that Michael has to leave and go to Sicily.
Right. So after he whacks the hot drug guy and the corrupt cop, he has to, because he doesn't drop the gun. Rookie move.
Well, he does,
and I think he probably would have had to do this anyway. He goes to Sicily, and he meets Apollonia. And this I have a problem with.
This is the one thing I have a problem with. We could talk about it, Alex. It's
the actress who plays Apollonia is 16 years old.
Oh, that wasn't even, wow, I didn't even know that. Oh my God.
Say it with me.
Ew.
Boo.
Boo. Oh,
Boo,
it's like Romeo and
Francis.
Juliet. Fucking hell.
Boo.
Guys.
She's 16 and topless in this movie.
No. I didn't even know that. No. Absolutely not. Disgusting.
We found that out because we were looking up the actress, and we were like, oh God.
Oh my God, that's so foul.
Awful.
Okay, I hate that. Number one. Don't, no more of that, please. Jesus Christ.
No more of that.
That's why, same thing. It's the Romeo and Juliet movie also that she was like 15, right?
They were both underage. Well, I don't know if he was, but they were both very young. Like, even if he wasn't technically underage, he's really young, and they have like kind of talked about the fact that they were exploited.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, well, I hate that. And then the other thing that I hate along with that is I think a lot of the lines, and I think it's fair that a lot of this movie doesn't utilize the women in the story all that much, and or doesn't have that many, because it's just the type of story that we're in. However, I do not like the use of Apollonia in this story at all. It's the one thing.
No, she's not a person.
No, she's like, she legitimately doesn't say a word the entire time that she's being wed.
Well, I love anytime they do let her talk, I'm like, oh, let me spend more time with her.
I know, she's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
like when she's trying to learn how to drive, but
I know, yeah. Oh, yeah, but that ends really bad.
Oh, bummer to be. Yeah, see, this is the thing. She feels much more like a device than a person.
Yes, it's the one thing that I'm like, yeah, that's pretty weak. She doesn't say a goddamn word the entire time that he's meeting her, marrying her, having sex with her, like, not a word. She's just hot. That's kind of it.
Needless to say, right, and he doesn't know anything about her when he like essentially blackmails and threatens her father into almost making a purchase.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously this movie does not pass the Bechdel test in any way, shape, or form. But I feel like Connie's a whole person. I feel like Kay is a whole
Yes.
person. And a lot of
Agreed.
that comes down to the incredible work the actresses are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like Apollonia is given the chance to be a real person. She really feels like a device.
Yeah, I agree. It's like the
just
one
not a movie it's a movie about men.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I agree. Like the other women I find to be at least more filled out and interesting. Her, I was like, okay, come on. This isn't right.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul said the same thing. He was like, this is the part of the movie where I'm like, I don't even know why we're here. Like, I understand why we're here, but it feels like such a diversion.
I agree. It's the one thing. But
plus, like, how fucked up to do that to Kay. Like, to be like, okay, love you, sweetie, and then not tell her that you're going to go kill two guys and then just disappear to Sicily for like years, marry somebody else, and not she still thinks you're dating.
Yeah, I was going to say
she
also
still thinks they're dating.
No way in hell she ever learns about Apollonia in her life. Never.
You don't think?
No. He's never going to tell her.
That would be a real idiot move of him to tell her.
No, he's never going to do it. I agree. I was like, what about Kay? This is fucked up. And then I was like, scream. That was like my don't go back in the house. I was like, don't go with him, Kay.
That was my don't go back in the house as well. Let's give our don't go back in the house moment. Kay, don't you take that man back.
Don't you do
Move
it.
Move on. Live your life.
Get out of there. Get out of there.
You're a teacher. Imagine being a preschool student and or like a first grade student and your teacher, you're walking with your teacher and then she meets her ex-boyfriend who's a mobster.
Okay.
Like,
whoa. Whoa. Yeah, no.
Major lore drop on Miss Kay.
Guys, that's Miss Kay's boyfriend. He kills people.
Guys, do you guys think Miss Kay is dating a mobster?
Do you think? No, she wouldn't. She doesn't seem like that. Wow, yeah, that would be a crazy kindergarten class.
Crazy lore drop.
And of course, while Michael is in Sicily, Sonny is brutally murdered.
He is gunned the fuck down. And Paul made me laugh so hard. We were watching that scene and texting, and he just gets like paper shredded. Like,
oh my God,
absolutely
completely.
Swiss cheese.
Machine
and Paul
guns.
just goes, oh God, I hope he's okay.
Oh
no. I hope he's all right.
I was like in shock, and I turned to Dan and I was like, oh my God, does he live? And he was like, are you serious?
He does not live, babe. So yeah, they get him at a toll booth.
Does.
There are a lot of like kind of fun, like oopsie daisies killings. Like the one guy has the one. I can't keep track of who's killing who. The one guy kills the one guy because he's like, I gotta go take a leak and then leave the gun, take the cannoli. And I'm like, who got killed then?
So that guy was supposed to be guarding Vito Corleone when he was killed, or almost killed. Sorry, when he was shot. So the family's like, who was supposed to be guarding him? And then it's that guy, and then they, take him out to
see.
fast.
That was Paulie.
Yeah, I think.
I can't keep track. I genuinely cannot keep track.
That guy, I was a little bit confused, but I'm pretty sure that's why they kill him. And great line.
But Sonny is on his way to murder his brother-in-law, quite rightly. And I was like, please make it in time, because his brother-in-law, there's a horrific scene where it's a fight between the brother-in-law and the sister. And him just like taking his belt off and whacking her with it. And then they go in the bathroom and you just hear her like screaming while he just like beats the pulp out of her. It's horrifying. And I'm like, stab him. And then Sonny's like, I'm going to go fucking kill that guy. And I'm like, kill him. Send him to swim with the fishes. And he doesn't make it, unfortunately.
Because it was all a trap. It was all a trap, which is really fucked up. But you know who knew that? The consigliere. Should have listened to him. He was like, don't do it.
To Tom. Robert Duvall.
Yeah, that was a horrifying thing. But yeah, he gets shredded. And because when the sons get killed, that's when all the mobsters are like, hang on. Whoa, not my son. Stop it.
Wait, not us, though.
We're not the problem. You're
just
the problem.
The lackeys.
Right. So they all have this big sit-down dinner. All of the families, all the mob guys.
Yeah. And this was my, hey, wait, award. You're telling me this whole time they could just sit down and have some pasta and chit-chat it out. Why did we not do that at the beginning?
Listen,
You could just call up these guys and be like, let's have lunch.
why don't we just chat about it? Yeah, no. See, the thing is, it's kind of like, when you have to do the thing that is going to end poorly. But then once you do it, you're like, okay, I get it. Now I can move on.
Yeah, like when I have to clean my dishes and I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna suck and it's gonna take 4 hours, and then I do it and it takes like 10 minutes and it's fine, and I am completely unharmed.
Exactly, but you just put it off. Or
like that.
Like if you find a roach and you put a cup, you catch it in a cup and then you just leave it forever because you're like, I can't
even
kill
talk
it. But
about
if you
that.
just dropped a book on it, it'd be better than squiggling around under the cup.
Ew.
Kind of like
I'm
that.
upset about this fictional scenario. It's like that. So Vito was like, I was really shocked at how little he was in this movie. I was expecting it to be a real showcase of him, and it's not. It's Michael's story.
Yeah, it really is.
I did not know that before I watched, and I thought it was interesting how sparingly Vito was used. But I thought Marlon Brando really secured his spot as a master in this role when he's lying in the hospital bed talking to Michael and the tear slides out of his eye.
I know. The couple of moments where he is emotional were just some of the most realistic, filled up acting moments I've maybe ever seen.
Yeah, this is why I'm like, I want to be mad at him about using the cue cards and taping his lines to other actors' backs, but he did a really good job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
the naturalism was next level.
No, it really, really was. And I also I like this scene with all the families because it really does feel like a Last Supper. I wonder if that was one of the inspos, because it really feels like that when he's standing and he's going, Yeah. And they all talk it out. You're right. Probably could have done that in the first place, but we talk it out. And they decide they're all going to make it work with a little bit of drugs, a little bit of not drugs.
Just not too much, just a little bit.
Just a little bit of drugs, but Oh, and then they say horrible racist shit about that.
Oh my God, they're saying some crazy shit through this whole movie. I mean, the N-word was a jump scare. I wasn't expecting them to drop it in that scene. But I've heard a lot of not okay words for Italian people in this movie.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Honestly, even this is when the Jersey Shore first came out and everybody was like, Guido, my dad was really bothered by that, actually.
Well, because isn't it kind of like it's just thing to say. It's
stereotyping, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I didn't even know some of these ones that they were throwing out.
I know. I had to Google some. I was like,
Jesus.
Damn.
I know. Not nice. People did not.
Nice. Oh, wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I just realized we skipped. So the horse head thing, by the way, early in the movie, the singer guy wanted to be in a movie.
Yes.
And Vito was like, all right, I'll make it happen, which is very true, by the way. The mob ran Hollywood and was very embedded in the movie industry.
Wasn't it Frank Sinatra did not want this movie to be made? I read that.
Is that true? I mean, I wouldn't.
I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true, but I read it.
Because that guy does kind of seem like a Frankie stand-in.
Yeah, I know.
So, because the studio head is like, first of all, says every nasty word for Italian person I've ever heard under the sun.
In my
and then
life.
It's like, I'm never putting that guy in the picture because I liked this girl, and then he banged her. And then he wakes up with a real horse's head in his bed.
Yeah. Yep. Real. And so much blood.
I'm like,
so
how
much
did they
blood.
get that in without him waking up? I'm just picturing some henchmen tiptoeing in, lifting the covers really. So shut up. He moved, and he
don't be weird
talks
about
him to sleep a little. He's like, Marlena Dietrich, movie talk. And then they're like, all right, just sneak it in. But don't touch his foot because it'll wake him up. Just get it in. And they're covered in blood and they're dripping blood.
Yeah.
I just had this whole vision for the scene we don't see, how they sneak a horse's head into his bed without him noticing.
This could be an SNL skit. It's reminding me of Home Alone. It's like it's who I'm seeing doing it.
Joe Pesci.
Oh my God, Joe Pesci brought the
Incredible.
horse head in. Beautiful. Yeah,
Beautiful.
that guy I also was like,
So
this
that
guy
happened. The guy, and then there's the hotel owner because Michael comes back because Sonny's dead, so Michael has to come back and like be the head of the
sucks. Run
family
the
now.
family.
And he goes out to Vegas and is like, "All right, we're gonna buy you out." And Fredo is like, "No, I have a really good setup here. Don't mess with it."
And
And
he
the guy who
looks
runs the hotel is like,
crazy.
he gets my Luke of the movie right there. His outfit is so phenomenal.
It's
And he
so good.
clearly is like, wait, I'm in like a fun gangster movie. I don't want your scary gangster movie to come over here and mess with my fun one.
Right.
But unfortunately the hotel guy gets got in the end.
He really
And Michael
does.
says something very chilling to Fredo. He says, "Don't ever go against the family again."
Scary.
How the tables have turned, Michael.
He said he wasn't gonna have anything to do with this. If I was Kay, I'd be like, whoa. What?
Kay, when I saw that Kay had a baby with that man, I was
know.
girl.
Tough.
Yeah, stand up.
Yeah, girl, don't. Yeah. And he fully comes into this Godfather role.
And that was when it really took me that far to understand that's what the movie's about. The movie is about how Michael Corleone becomes the Godfather. It's not about Vito Corleone, even though he's a part of it. And I'm sure he's a big part of, because I believe part 2 has flashbacks with De Niro, which I cannot wait to see. But this is where I was like, oh, this is Michael's story. I understand. And the title is in reference to him. Yeah. And then it gets real literal when he's literally asked to be Connie's kid's godfather. And he does it, and there's that great juxtaposition where he is literally renouncing Satan and being like made the godfather in a church while this massive amount of killings is being done by his order. And that is just some excellent juxtaposition right there, Francis Ford Coppola.
It's almost like funny, which
it
is clever.
Funny.
Yeah. And he kills off all the other guys, all the other 5 family guys. Dead.
Yeah. And it happens first when Vito is hanging out in the garden with his grandson and croaks. Not traumatizing for that poor kid at all.
I know. He's my straight to therapy. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, let's send that kid straight to therapy.
That was upsetting, wasn't it?
Spraying him with the spray bottle.
I know. Oh my God.
I was like, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Yikes.
Ugh.
But I was not expecting Vito to die in this movie. And when he did, I was like,
I know.
Oh, he's not the Godfather. Michael is.
Na, 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 na. Yep. Totally. And I just love this his transition from truly like a civilian to the head of the family godfather is a stroke of genius.
Genius. So well done. I found myself wondering, I was like, was this shot in chronological order? Like,
I know.
He knows exactly where he is in his journey in every single scene. Al Pacino, hot take. Al Pacino's a real good actor.
You know what?
Has anyone ever said this?
I freaking love Al Pacino. We have to cover Heat. Have we covered Heat?
We have not covered Heat. We gotta cover A Few Good Men. We could cover Scent of a Woman.
Oh yeah.
Hoo-ah!
I love Pacino. And I love how subdued he is in this movie. He is so restrained.
Very. Well, Al Pacino
really cool.
was the star of the first movie we ever covered.
True.
Scarface.
And he was not restrained
Which
in
is
that.
a wildly different performance.
Also amazing. But this is just top tier. And yeah, he kills the heads of the 5 families while he renounces Satan. He kills Connie's husband right after he right after he becomes Godfather.
Kill Connie's husband.
Which her crash out, again, valid. All the crash outs of hers, valid.
Well, that happened in Scarface.
It did happen in Scarface. I forgot.
I was like, I got deja vu when she went up to his office. I was like, this exact thing happened in Scarface.
That is weird. Oh my God, you're so right. Weird. Crossover.
Weird.
But yeah, I am like, girl, it's for the best. It's for the best. It's okay. You got to cut that off.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Your husband sucked.
Your husband sucked.
And then I think that the ending is really spectacular where he's talking to Kay and Kay is clearly displeased. And I'm like, girl, what did you think was going to happen?
I know.
But she's in this now, and we get to see her in the foreground and Michael in the background in the office with the conciliaries kissing the ring. And then the door closes, and you're like, whoa, the next one's going to be crazy. And that's Godfather.
That's The Godfather. It really is that good. To me, it is that good.
No, I agree. Like, I agree. I do think it's a cinematic masterpiece. I totally get why it's lauded as one of the greatest movies of all time. Like, I get it.
100%.
And I am intrigued to see the second one. I did think he was a little long and a little repetitive in the middle. And the wedding was a little long.
I just love that wedding scene. So I like that one, but I agree. In the middle, yeah, he's taking his time.
However, it's made up for by the fact that the direction is very artful, like you said, and the acting is just like masterclass.
Crazy good.
Level.
Yeah.
By
From
everybody.
everyone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
can't wait to see the sequel, and then maybe not the third one. So I hear.
I know.
I hear the third one is a little bit of a miss.
I feel like we should watch it anyway.
We probably should. Guys, should we watch Godfather 3?
Should we do it?
We'll be like, just when we thought we were out, the Patreon pulled us back in. Well, guys, what do you think of The Godfather? Let us know in the comments. Do you love it? Have you just watched it for the first time like me? Do you find it comforting like Steph? Is it a comfort movie?
Just, sitting around the dinner table yelling. It's so comforting.
Yeah. And I do feel like there's so much more to talk about with this movie. So, like, maybe we'll do a follow-up. And I think, like, if we do part 2, we'll have even more to say. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. Yeah, and there is so many more facts. There's so much more to discuss about the filmmaking style, etc. It's just such a huge thing to bite off, so we can get even more into that.
Yes. Let us know if you want like a little Godfather mini-sode follow-up with some more behind-the-scenes stuff and some more chit-chat about that. Make sure you join us on, actually, it will be coming out on Friday this week, not Thursday, our Patreon episode. And don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube at Film Bros Pod. And you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Alexandra Wide Eyes and on Letterboxd at Alex Wide Eyes.
You can follow me on Instagram and Letterboxd at S.Tercy and on TikTok at Laurel Street.
And you should listen to our podcast Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday.
She's so cute.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Leave the gun.
How about we eat some cotton balls?
Bye.
Bye.